Sagdaddy, I'm back at it with a fantastic podcast for your asses. Yapping in a trap like a rescue cat, and the rest queued up like they're waiting on the Batman. You tuned into the dude who threw booze back, blacked out, woke up drunk, covered in bruises. It's Sagdaddy the pod, an odd fellow, the great white chubby, I'm becoming a marshmallow. It's Sagdaddy the pod, so sit back and relax, cause like a broken arm, I got a cast now. It's Sagdaddy the pod, you made a good choice, so enjoy, don't be annoyed, now here's my dumb voice.
Rather than just being like a straight no. It's almost like you had like a pre-argument or a like encounter. Like if you want to talk to your manager about something, work it with ChatGPT first, or
do you
whatever
pay for
sort of.
ChatGPT because you
no,
use
I don't
so
even
much with all this, or
honestly,
you have three times in a day that you can have this conversation.
Whatever the free period is. Yeah, that's it.
You go, baby.
I'm the person that like I get in my Instagram reels like, you're using ChatGPT wrong. Like, are you only using ChatGPT to do this? Like,
I get that
you could
too.
be making $6 billion a minute if you just clicked on this link. And I go, no, I'm fine with this. I'm fine with what I'm using it for right now.
Yeah.
It solves a little bit of argument in my mind with my wife.
Yeah.
And see if I can win this thing.
Yeah. I mean,
and I'm getting more wins.
That's great.
I'm getting way more wins now.
I use it for, believe it or not, workouts. I go, write me a workout. I'm not very good. Write me a workout right now that I can do at the New York Sports Club that makes me work on arms or whatever. And they're like, they'll send a whole fucking thing. Yeah. I mean, people are using ChatGPT for like therapy too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't go that far where I'm like, look, dude, I'm really depressed, but I'm like, here's what I'm angry about.
Yeah.
Like, I want to, like, I'm trying to think of the last time I used it with the argument with my wife. It was something about, we're going to Yellowstone in a couple weeks, and it was like something that I wanted to do. I wanted to get away for one day to go golf, and I'm trying to figure out how far. I'm getting all my information out of the way.
Yeah.
It's only X amount of miles. It's going to take this amount of time. Like, all my ducks in a row so that I have everything I need to do to go to battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And win.
Okay. So what's the argument?
I want to go play golf for like 6 hours. And so far I've been told, no, there's not enough time.
Why? Well,
It's a family trip, and I would have to take the family. It would mean like everyone is sort of sitting at the house for 6 hours waiting for me to come back.
Right.
That's, everyone could fish and do what they want at the house, but it's not going to be as much fun as having the access to the van, which I will take.
I know. And let me tell you something.
What?
That maybe ChatGPT won't say to you.
Okay.
Be like, well, why do you want to be alone from your family?
Because it's like...
Hey, I get it.
Yeah.
No, this is a... This is me
Chat. Chat, listen. You married Chat?
Yeah.
Chat, you got two kids. You get a lot of people asking you questions, but you turn it off whenever you want.
Chat, do you have any
kids? Not being able to turn it off, Chat. Imagine being like, I've heard too many questions today. I don't know how far this is from that. I just want to take a break. You can't do it, Chat. They're always around.
Yeah. ChatGPT would say, look, I understand. I don't have any kids myself because I'm a robot. But I do, from what I understand, kids are a problem.
I know.
I'll tell you this, too. I'll give you and I'm on your side.
Thank you.
I want you to go golfing. I want you to have a good time on your trip. But as somebody who had a dad who would just do his own fucking thing all the time, kind of fucks me up.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be, I don't want cats in the cradle playing while I'm gone or any of that stuff. And honestly, my 2 sons now are interested in golf. They would probably want to come with me, but this is a really nice
then you
place.
Can't drink.
Well, I mean,
but then you can't do coke.
I can't do blow. I talk to the cart girls the way I want to.
But then you can't be racist.
Yeah, I can't say things I want to say out loud. But also because it's a nice course and they're just going to hack it up. They're not good. So it's like, what? I mean, I'm not going to pay for them $400 a round each person to go sit there and, it's like bringing someone to a water park who can't swim. It's like bringing
a baby to a fucking movie theater.
Yeah.
They're not even enjoying this anyway. Yeah. So, hey, I get it.
And paying full price for it. So, yeah, I'm trying to carve out a little bit of time. So what I think I got it down to is 9 holes and and a lunch.
There's no fucking way. And a lunch. There's no fucking way, dude.
And it's gonna and I'll end up not going at all.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And that's
it's just my birthday.
Oh, is it for your birthday?
Well, the day I want to go is the day of my birthday. It's July 4th. I want to go on the 4th, but we have other things to do and it could jam up. So,
your
whatever.
Birthday is July 4th?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Why? I think it's the best.
Because nobody's celebrating. Unfortunately, you don't know the experience of having a birthday where everybody is celebrating you because they're also celebrating the birth of America.
Absolutely wrong. I had parents that told me all of the shit was for me growing up.
Oh,
they were like, "Look, it's crazy.
That's
like,
hilarious.
If you have a birthday on July 4th, like people go nuts, and everyone's in a good mood. Everybody's off. Everybody wants to party.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
It's not Christmas where everyone's getting presents or it's not like it's everyone's getting something.
Right.
It's like we're all off and oh shit, an extra reason to drink Steve's birthday. Let's do it.
But that's the vibe. It's always like, go America. And then if you're there, they go, oh, and Steve's birthday. And you go, okay.
But honestly, I'll be 48 this year. It's like, I don't need to, what is it? Like my quinceanera? Like who
I just
gives a
turned
shit?
34 a couple weeks ago. And I'm like, my birthday was like, I chilled in all day. I built a Lego. And then I just went to do spots, and that was a good fucking birthday.
It's exactly what you want to do. Now see if I can get a little bit done what I want to do on my birthday. Yeah. But we'll see,
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't think you want a situation that I'm having right now where I'm begging my father, who is a good dude and I'm just begging for any attention from him at all right now.
Really?
So I'm like, yeah, like give me I like literally had to be like, hey, can you call me? And so we're now talking every Saturday and stuff, but you don't want that awkward conversation where your kid's in his 30s being like, Pop, you weren't around.
I honestly think my kids
you went golfing.
If you ask them, they probably think I'm around too much.
Probably, yeah. Well, you're a comic, like
so they don't like they like every other dad that other dads drop their kids off at school or pick them up. I'm the only dad that does that.
Oh, so you see all these like hot moms.
Well, there's that. That's the bonus. But I also feel like I like to drive into the school, even if it's 3 minutes, 4 minutes, a little bit of
hang out
drive,
with your kid,
hang out time. So and plus when they come home, I'm home too. I'm in my office, I'm doing stuff, but like I'm not like business calls. It's not like Gordon Gekko lives there.
No,
I'm not even like in the point of entertainment where I'm like Bert, where I'm like I have 4 meetings and don't come in.
Right.
It's just come in. Whatever. What are you going to interrupt a dick joke? So it's like, what are we doing? Like, so they think I'm all. I honestly think that I'm like a loser.
Do they really?
Not a loser in the sense of like
Dad,
my
do
dad,
something.
but like he's always around. Like always around. Like he shouldn't be here this much.
Was your dad around a lot when you were younger?
Kind of, yes. But my dad owned a limousine service, so he would be.
No fucking way. Your dad was what's his name from Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, he had like 4 limos.
Yeah.
And a couple other employees, and so but for the most part, if like the first job up, he would take it, obviously. So he was gone at weird hours. Like he would have to, we'd have dinner, and he'd be like, "I got to go do a prom tonight."
Oh my god!
At like 7 o'clock, and go out to like 2 in the morning. But it was like me. Like we have dinner, and then sometimes I go to the city and I go do spots, and so, but yeah, like I remember like he was very busy starting the business, so he was working all the time.
Do you remember him as like a blur in a suit? Like that's what I say about my dad. He was like a blur in a suit.
He did wear a black suit for the limo stuff.
He was just never around.
He was, but he did try to include, like I would clean the cars with like him and like I was like a slave.
Yeah, that's
really.
him including you.
Yeah.
He goes, Bud, you want to hang out with old pops?
I mean, it was like wash
that's worse
the limos.
Than washing a regular car too.
I know,
they're
it's
fucking
humongous.
long. Yeah, it's huge.
And people in the insides, people like
puke and all that stuff.
And even if you pay for it, nobody ever just sits there and then like get out and leave it exactly like. They wrinkle up a napkin just like, I paid for this fucking thing.
Or they're probably being like, I paid for this. I'm going to fuck in the back here.
I'm going to fuck in the back.
I bet he got a lot of that, huh?
He had a couple of those. He would never really, one time I remember him telling my mom, and it was like, I had to put the partition, we had to pull over. It was also the 80s, late 80s and early 90s. So it was like tons of drugs, coke.
Right.
Like it was like the
invincible time.
You like his spiel for prom kids was like, look, pack your coolers. I don't want alcohol in the car.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want it. I don't need it. But pack your own coolers. But no coke.
Yeah.
Like it was like that's
hilarious.
As like telling 17-year-olds. Yeah. Like, look, I'm gonna look away but no coke.
My after prom. So my limo to prom.
Yeah.
This guy was taking us to prom, and then he was going to take the group of kids to the after prom, which was in the Hamptons. So we were going to drive out to the Hamptons, and I guess we're smoking blunts in the limo, right?
Yep.
So when we got to the Hamptons house, he tried to blackmail us. He wanted more money. He said, "Give me more money, or I'm going to call the cops on you guys." And he's like, I'm not leaving. But luckily, we also had a security guard. Our parents hired a security guard, and it was this big black guy. And he was like, get the fuck out before I kill you. And
wait a minute, your parents just for your group, or the school hired a security?
My parents for our group. We set up a whole thing of like our group of friends. We got $700 worth of booze. And we got the security guard, and we got yeah.
And the security guard was
you didn't
down
do an after prom. You're
drinking?
from Long Island,
yeah,
right?
but we didn't have a security guard. Like
we had
just
a security
went.
guard. Yeah, he just hung out, and he like hung out in the living room while we like
people
drank
rented hotel rooms at this place. I can't remember that out in the
you did an after
Hamptons.
prom?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of the place that we went to, but it was like a
the
hotel.
Best Western?
Like, no, it was a couple hotels out in the Hamptons. Can't remember exactly which one it was. They're like purple or green or something like that. Anyway, never did it. Like we were like, we're all going to bring beer and stuff, and we're going to party, and at some point we're going to get shut down. But that's going to be the way it is. That's how we lived our lives.
Not us.
Never,
bro.
ever did it dawn on us to have a private security guard who I assume was an adult.
Yeah.
To kind of be a chaperone / buffer.
Yeah.
So
and luckily we had him, or else the limo driver was trying to fucking racketeer us.
Adults coming at us. The security guard takes care of it, right?
He took
but
care
also
of us,
we want to drink and not have people like that. Like,
exactly.
Come
and any kids come in
out.
or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't even really remember that first day because I got like, very cool. But anyway, yeah.
And was it like his job is to keep you guys safe?
Yeah.
Make sure you don't OD. Make sure you don't go. Wow.
Exactly. Yeah. So we were. We did that. What town did you grow up in?
Smithtown.
Yeah. So that's Suffolk.
Suffolk. Yeah. So
nice.
I went I started the year they combined. So it was 2 high schools, East and West, which it isn't again now. But the years I went, it was the first year it combined. So like it was one big high school, and there was like 650 kids I graduated.
That's
it was
crazy.
humongous. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like I don't even know. I think I can name 10 people. It's our 30th anniversary this year. I think I can name 10 people.
Are you going to go to
5 of them I still hang out with on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's cool.
But 600, like I had people come up to me at shows, like on the road. And like,
they're like, remember me?
Exactly. And I'm like, no, I don't.
It kind of feels
and
good,
even when they say their name,
I
still
like,
go, fuck.
I'm Sam Cohen. You're like, I have no idea who that is.
Don't know.
It does feel good to kill in front of people from your school. And you're like, yeah, I made the right decision. Enjoy your health insurance.
It's great. But it also, I think about the possibility of the times I didn't do well, and people just didn't come up to me after. They're like, sorry, I didn't go to high school with that guy.
Dude, you know? I had a group of girls that knew me from high school. They went to the comic show. I get this DM from this girl. She's like, "Hey, we used to go to high school. Remember me?" And I go, "Oh yeah, hey, what's up?" And she's like, me and this person, who are other girls that I remembered. We went to the comic strip because they had your name on the website. So we thought you were on the show. And I was like,
oh,
okay. Which, by the way, I don't work the strip. Like, they never worked me. They had my name on the show.
Wow.
Isn't that insane? So I was like, okay, well, I don't work that club ever. So don't ever do that. And also always hit me up. And I go, I actually felt bad. So I was like, look, I'll comp you tickets to the show that I'm on tomorrow night.
For real.
If you want to come. And they were like, so that was like a cool move. You know, I was like, I'm comping your tickets, bunch of girls from high school. I'm looking like the man.
They're using my name in other clubs just to promote the club.
They sat front row.
Mm-hmm.
I bombed. I bombed so bad. And these girls did not say anything to me after and never DM'd me again.
What?
Wasn't even like thank you or anything like that.
And you know, what was the reason for the bombing? Was it overconfidence going into it? Did you try and it just wasn't happening?
I was just bad. I was just bad. My rhythm was off. Rhythm was off. It was a full crowd too. So the rhythm was off. And I was just like, and they were sitting right there. And I was like, oh shit. I tried to go into crowd work. That didn't work. It was awful.
And it only gets worse from there. The sweat. Oh my God.
Who'd you go to prom with? Do you remember her?
Well, I went to my senior prom with Kim Megna.
Nice.
And my junior prom with Jessamine Walker.
Junior prom. See,
you didn't do junior prom?
We didn't have a junior prom, no.
Really?
Yeah, I went to Syosset High School. No junior prom.
No junior prom, huh?
No junior prom at Syosset High School.
We did, junior prom. Even still today, the kids do junior prom. I don't think the junior prom is nearly as big.
Yeah.
It's more of like a glorified dance, you know? But they still rack you for like $100 to go to the, they rent the place out.
Dude. I love that the teachers DJ too. I don't know if yours did that, but one of the science teacher DJ'd or something like that.
I don't even remember it, dude. Like I remember the teachers being
like it was
there.
Fucking yesterday, bro.
What did you? I remember what I wore.
I remember what I wore too.
White jacket, black pants,
That's
shirt,
crazy.
laundered. in Drakkar Noir for the extra $30.
What does that mean?
So you could get your shirt, you rent the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So when you pick up your shirt has been laundered and pressed and scented you get to choose your cologne.
Oh.
So I got Drakkar.
And it's not like too heavy or anything. Like
it was horrendous, dude.
Jesus, man, your fucking
and
shirt
the worst
smells
part
like
was,
shit.
if when you first put it on, it's very, very bad. But then when you start to sweat, it's like it really comes out because now you've like liquefied the
Also, you're so used to it at that point, you don't smell
and
it.
you're
really.
like, whatever, let's go.
So Long Island, dude. Yeah.
Flying high.
That rules.
I look like DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street. That's exact. I mean, like that energy coming out, just fucking life of the.
I hated my
no
prom.
Dance skill, like really no formal anything dance, but just could break it down.
I hated my prom. I was so unconfident, and I was going out with Dervla at the time, who she's the lore of Sagdaddy the podcast, the girl I lost my virginity to, Dervla. And
what a name, dude. Dervla. I like that.
Yeah, it's a pretty name, but
what is that? Is she German?
She's Irish and Indian.
Whoa.
And I was just not confident. I'm like holding her like waist. Being
this was
like,
at the prom you lost it?
No.
Oh.
I'm like, we're taking all the pictures before prom and all that stuff. And I had buddies who just didn't have dates, so they didn't go to the prom. And they were like, they showed up in cargo shorts, and they're like, we're going straight to the fucking house.
Really? So
we're going to drink and all that shit. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm so envious. And then we got to prom, and I just wasn't dancing. I had no confidence, and I didn't dance. And then
was Dervla dancing?
Dervla was dancing with her friends. Yes.
But she never danced with another dude, right? That would piss you off.
I mean, she was always kind of flirting with other guys and stuff in her own little way. Or I was just insecure where I wasn't like, I was just insecure.
She wasn't like shoving in your face.
No. She was actually like, we were at one point, she's like, come, her friend walked up to me. I think it was like, you should dance with Dervla. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, sure. And we're dancing, and I got a boner.
Oh no.
And she goes, are you hard right now? And I went, no. And I stopped dancing, and then I went back to my table, and I just sat alone while everybody else was dancing.
She said, are you hard right now?
Yeah. And what I should have said, okay.
Of course I'm hard.
Yeah. That's what I should have said.
You look like the fucking jam.
I should have went, you better fucking believe it. That's what I should have fucking said.
The beginning of so fucking hard for you.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That would have been so hard. Because the week prior, she had sent me we were talking on DM, right? Or instant messenger, right?
Well, I never did any of that stuff.
So you didn't have instant messenger where like is that thing on the side and it's like when somebody comes in, it's like the door opens, when they leave, the door closes. So her screen name came on, we're talking, and she broke up with me via instant messenger for the second time. She broke up with me.
Damn.
And then she goes, I want to still go to prom, and we can still go to prom together because it was next week.
Okay.
And we'll go to the after prom and everything, but no sex at all. And I'm like, oh, geez, okay. I'm like, this kind of sucks. You wish. I know it's like kind of be like, oh, selfish Sagalow, selfish Sagalow, but also like, selfish guy. But it's also like, you only get one prom.
Yeah. Even you like the anticipation of it possibly happening.
Yeah.
Is the joy in itself.
Yeah. So
sometimes
you're like,
you do, sometimes you don't. I didn't have sex in my prom.
Right.
But I thought I could have, but we had sex before that. It was almost like,
why didn't you have sex at prom then?
Because there were other people around. She was a little like
hotel,
we're
right?
A hotel. It wasn't like we would have had to been like, get over here. Like it would have had to been meet me in the corner.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes. Like it would have been.
You would have to.
It wasn't like flowers out. So I didn't have it, but I thought I might, and that's the joy of it alone.
It's one of the best things.
But having it shut down beforehand, I'd rather go with my friends.
Yeah, I would be like, why am I even going with you then? You stink. So anyway, but if I had said to her, when I was grinding and I got a fucking bone job, I should have went. I'm sure if I was like, yeah, you better believe it, sister. You're like, I hope you're ready for this or something like that. Maybe she would have had sex with me. But then, but we were 17. What are you going to do? But then we go to the after prom, right? And
with the security guard. That's got to be impressive as fuck.
It's very cool.
I'd be like, Dervy, give me money for the security guard. Sure I'll pay if we're still together and I can get fucked. But if not,
I think she probably
you're kicking in for the security guard.
Everybody kicked in. I'm sure she kicked in. So then we we had sex, right?
Oh, okay.
It just ended up kind of happening.
Nice.
Like, right, we're like laying in bed together, and we ended up kissing. One
Yeah.
thing led to another, and 2 minutes
porked.
later, I was done. And she got so pissed. She was like, I told, probably because she didn't come at all, and then I was like, I'm done, and then she has to live with semen for 3 days in her
a lot of it too.
Yeah. And she was like, I told you I didn't want to have sex at the after prom, and I was like, we were making out. We're laying in bed. We're making out. Like, what do you think?
Oh
Whatever.
no,
it was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah,
it was all these head games that I wish I was mature enough to be able to
just decipher that's bullshit.
Yeah,
that's not.
Did you like your adolescence in high school? Like, were you the man essentially?
No. I mean, look, I was fake it till you make it, that kind of person. You know, like when I went to Catholic school all the way to 8th grade. Then I went to Catholic high school for the first year, St. Anthony's. I'm sure you've heard of it, right? Mm-hmm. So then I went there for 9th grade, and then it was sort of like a mutual decision. I leave. Like, it was sort of, this isn't really right. I don't know. I hated it.
Separate ways.
Yeah. So then Smithtown was combining. I go, look, I'll go there now. I'll be new. Everyone's new to half the people are new to each other, so I'll just be new to everyone. So that's what and so when I went there, I felt a little bit like. And also, I had a girlfriend that went there when I got there, and then like 3 months into school, she broke up with me. Oh. And so I was like, really the only person I knew was like now broken up with me, and sort of I'm feeling my way out. So it was a lot of that's the theme of fake it till you make it.
Sure.
Like, act as if everything is cool and I'm just a duck and under the water. All that shit. Right. And so until like junior year, I settled in with some good friends. I felt a little more, and then you're like. I know I'm not a great athlete, so I'm never going to make a sport on this team. So I started doing theater, and that was my first venture out to like
a lot of hot chicks in theater.
Yes, which I was like pro on the list I made. Yeah. Con, being called a fag my entire life. Like this could be the thing that's now like. And I was very worried about that.
And at that time, it was like,
100%, dude.
Like, yeah. Now it's like the theater kids are like
crazy
the popular kids.
I just chose the right people because they came to like my first show, as if it was like a game or something. They were psyched, and they've always been cool about it. Yeah, but like, I was very worried about so it was always like very treading lightly, but kind of acting as if everything was fine. Right. And like same thing in college, and then same thing when I moved to LA.
Yeah, and then it's
like when I first got to the Comedy Store, I was like, fucking,
where you
were
working
everything.
the door, right?
Yeah, I know it all, but I didn't know any. I was so scared.
Of course, I mean that's the whole thing. You just act like you know, and then what is that called? Where you like reach they say that with everything.
Sociopath.
You get to a point where you're learning, and then when you think you know, you reach that thing, and then you're actually, oh fuck you, I actually don't know. That's when you are like, I actually don't know anything.
Oh,
you get to that. There's a word for it.
I don't know what it is.
But how long did you do the door at the store?
2002, I got hired in April, and then 2007. So 5 years. Wow. All the different jobs, not just the door. I was the lot, the door. Then I was like one of the only people they trusted to do the tickets, so I did ticket booth. Right. Like there was a guy.
Why didn't
Tommy,
they trust anybody to do tickets? Were people stealing or something, or they just were lazy and being like, "What?"
Allegedly,
everybody was. Allegedly, people were stealing.
Allegedly,
how do you steal? Oh, with money.
Oh, very.
Well, allegedly, if you were to steal from the Comedy Store.
Allegedly, here's how you could do it.
Allegedly, this is how you could steal from the Comedy Store.
Allegedly, if the door guy had been the door guy that was there for over 30 years, who moved out with Letterman and Leno, they lived in an apartment together. Okay. And then Leno became Leno and Letterman became Letterman, and he still lived with his dog in an apartment and worked the Comedy Store front door and expects a certain percentage of kickback every single night. Okay. So how the kickback could work, allegedly, is Joe Rogan nights were the greatest nights of ever.
Why?
Because people would come to the shows. Every other nights, no one else would come to the show.
He was doing Fear Factor.
He was doing Fear Factor. He would like draw a great crowd. He would also have a huge guest list because he had a ton of friends and so his guest list would be. So you would just. Allegedly, some people would come in and pay maybe 4 people $80, and you would just add 4 people to Joe Rogan's guest list or someone else's guest list, and then that money goes into your pocket, and then you tip out the door guy, and that's allegedly. That's how booth guys had a different process.
And if you ever got caught by,
that's how you would be fired.
And what was Mitzi like when you were working there? Was she like old and like?
Oh yes, very old.
So you didn't get to see any of.
No,
like,
I saw a lot of good
young-
stuff. No, not the young stuff, but like when I first got there, my job was I would do the cover booth at 10:30 on Saturday night.
Yeah.
That was like one of my. I had like 3 or 4 shifts a week at the cover booth, but the 10:30 show in the original room on Saturday night was my show.
Yeah.
Tommy, the other guy who was the booker and the other guy who could do tickets, worked the main room.
Okay.
But part of my responsibilities, and this is like 2002 and 3, was before I went to the store, I'd have to go to Mitzi's house.
Yeah.
Under the
Was her
assumption
Yeah,
that she
yeah,
was
yeah.
going, that you would take her into the, she would always want to come watch the show. But these years, she never wanted to come.
right?
So I would go to her house. I hang out with her for like a half hour.
What was that like?
Oh, she'd be sitting in her like a living room in a pink room, and she would sit there and she'd stare at the CNN, and the Arabs are gonna go crazy about this one, and you would just go, and she just would just talk, and you know, it's like hanging out with her, like once in a while you get her on,
You're
like,
not, like, looking at
you
your
could
watch.
throw a little bit, like, what was Dice like? She'd go a little story, but like for the most
Right.
part, you just let her.
Oh, that's
Otherwise, shut the fuck up. You could set her off, like, you didn't even know what it was.
Oh my god!
And
what a
then
nightmare.
like walk her up to her room. Like, if you gonna come, Mitzi? No. Walk her up to her. Sometimes I had to carry her to her room.
Really? She was
Yeah,
that old?
yeah.
Ew. Did you ever have to change her diaper or anything
No,
like
but
that?
you like have to help her to the bathroom and like,
oh
like,
my god!
yeah, it was
Jesus Christ!
I never
dude.
saw a vag.
Did you
but-
see her butt?
No, I
you see
saw
poop?
like, sides, like getting into gowns and putting her into bed and stuff. It was it was nothing that you were
dude.
like
Do you see her tits?
the side tit.
Oh my god, dude! Old lady's side tit.
It was.
Was there any part of you that was like,
No, I swear to you. And Brent, I would tell you. Trust me, dude. And I've had many, and I've had thoughts. I'm like, why
And
do you
comics
just
that
do
were
it?
doing
and I
that,
go,
right?
yes, but we had got, like, it was just too far out. Like,
right? You're
it's
like,
too
this
far to
is
swim.
disgusting. Yeah, this is
Like
a
the boat is.
disgusting
I
thing.
want to go on the boat. It's too far
Now,
to swim.
if you did,
The last guy I know was.
I love this. You go. Oh,
I'm trying to
man.
think.
You went.
Schubert, I think, was the last guy.
What?
Jimmy Schubert.
Jimmy Schubert had sex with Mitzi.
That I know for a fact.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. That's
But I think
crazy.
he's like the person I know, the youngest, I think, that has done.
Now, what would happen if you did have sex
Or
with her?
Dice.
Like,
I'm sure. I don't know
I'm
who's
sure
younger.
Dice has. I'm sure
Oh,
like
he has.
all those guys have. Oh,
Oh,
really?
dude, he did it at her funeral.
What? He was like, and we had
And,
fucking
yeah.
sex.
He goes, "This is so sad, even for me, and I've been inside of her."
Oh
I
my
mean, dude, it
God,
fucking crushed,
dude.
bro. It crushed.
That rules.
It crushed, dude.
That rules,
Crushed, dude.
Would there be any, like, if you say you had sex with her at that time, right?
Yeah, like the
Would
time
you-
I could have.
Yes.
Oh my! It would have been. Oh, I think I would have been brought up on charge. Like, she didn't know. Like, one time I'm working the cover. Here's the
Okay.
One time we're in the cover booth, and I'm working. It's a busy night. It's about 11:30. I'd already put her to bed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Already put her to bed. Like, good night. Came, did my shift. All of a sudden, the phone rings. I answer. Tommy doesn't answer. Hello. Hey, it's Mitzi. I've been raped in my own home. I go, what? What? Mitzi goes, I go, is he still, what do you mean? Is he still there? What's going on? She goes, is Tommy there? Put him on the phone. So I hang up. I run to I'm running through the main room to get to the main room box office.
Oh my God.
And also I see Eleanor, the oldest waitress there, Eleanor Kerrigan, who's now a comedian. Yeah. She's like the highest like seniority. I go, she knows Mitzi real. I go, Mitzi just called. She said she was raped in her fucking house. She goes, oh, fuck, get Tommy. She's losing her mind. I go to get Tommy. I tell him I'm coming back. And all of a sudden, I'm going through the main room, and I feel an arm grab me, right? And it just grabs my arm, and it's Vince Vaughn, okay? And he's hanging out because he's friends with a man. This is the time when he was hanging out all the time.
Okay.
He goes, hey, I want to tell you something right now. I don't want this to be a big deal. I don't want to make this a big deal. I raped Mitzi Short tonight. He goes, let's not make it a big deal. He goes, was she laughing? Did we have fun? Yeah. Did I take sex from her? I guess you could say that. I guess you could say. And Eleanor and I are rolling on the ground.
That
rolling
rules, dude.
on the ground. Because he
so
thinks this
funny.
whole fucking thing is a joke, dude.
Yeah.
So now I go back to the main room. My phone. I pick up the phone. I go, Tommy's coming over.
Wait.
Right?
This wasn't a bit that she
this was not
set
a bit.
up
She
with Vince
called.
Vaughn?
No, she called. She just was delusional. She would just call and say, like, she would say there's another 9/11 happening right now because she was watching CNN and she just sees bombs. She goes, they're attacking again. Like anything she saw.
Oh, sad.
At night, the nighttime is when the caregivers would go home, so it was up to us to deal with the craziness.
Yeah.
So I'm like talking to her on the phone. I mean, Mitz, it's all right. Tommy's coming. He's right now. And Vince goes up, let me talk to her. I'll talk to her. I go, and he grabs the phone. He goes, huh, and he hears that it's her. And he goes, oh. Whoa. He had no idea that was real. He goes, I go, yeah, dude.
Was he afraid of her?
No, but he thought that was a complete joke. But he knew how powerful she was.
Yeah.
Like, he would hang out there and he had a reverence for that place because he could tell, like,
he loves comedy, doesn't he?
He loved it. Like, he found, like, he did that tour with Ahmed and Caparillo and Sebastian stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, he loved hanging out at that place. So he knew what it was about.
Yeah.
But even, like, in his mind, I don't think he thought it could possibly be true that this could have happened.
So what happened?
She was fine.
She was just losing it.
That was it.
I was raped.
Okay, Mitz, we'll be over
sitting at home alone.
Tommy went over after a shift. He's like, "You're fine. It's okay.
Everything's raped."
Yeah. That was it.
Bye.
I've been raped in my own home.
In my own home.
My God. All right. Where else would you be? Yeah. Gelsons? I thought you were Gelsons when I left you.
If you had Did I ask this? If you had sex with her, would it be good for you at that time? Like, would that be good for your career?
Because
I obviously
yes, I understand what you're saying.
You think so?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
I'm thinking about it. I'm doing the math in my head because honestly, that's what, to my point. That's the level. She might not remember that we had sex.
Right.
She might have thought I raped her.
Right.
Even she might like it. The dice. It was too much of a wild card chance.
Right.
She would fire people. She would show up on a Sunday, like once a month during employee night, and like just walk past the door guy, and then call the manager over and be like, "Who is that?" And be like, "Oh, that's our new door guy, Brennan. He's nice. He's a very nice guy. He's very funny comic. He's too fat. You gotta fire him." Mitzi, I just hired him. He's super. Why don't you meet him? He's too fat. Nobody wants to
She
look at
sounds like a
fatty.
fucking monster. I already hate her now. In this little hypothetic, I hate her.
But once in a while, she'd be exactly right, and she would talk to you like you were like she was in your soul.
That's how they get you.
I know. It was a magical sort of time to be there.
90% of the time, I'm going to be a complete bitch.
Yeah.
But 10% of the time, I'm going to be like really nice, and people are going to be chasing that down for the rest of my life.
And that's what they did forever.
Damn.
There are people that are still walking around right now that like their biggest regret is they never got passed by her, which is crazy. I don't have that, like, as I did, but I don't have that for anything really.
Is your name on the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, but I'm not past the cellar.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I don't really, like, I know you got to put the time in and do all this stuff, and it's great, maybe one day, but it's not a thing where I'm like,
no,
you don't really, like, I'm not chasing it. But I think for that period of time, that was all that people wanted was her approval. That was it. And it was a crazy time to work there.
And what was it like when Dice was there at that point?
He was the best.
Yeah, like I heard he was like, he would come in and like ask you guys to film stuff.
All the time.
And he wouldn't.
We didn't even work.
Yeah, he would be, I heard he didn't even edit them like on a computer or anything. He would edit it in real time. So he had a camera.
Yes.
And he would, right?
We would shoot, he called me T2.
Why T2?
Tower 2. I'll let you figure that one out later. You know? We're still going with I don't know how to get out of that one, right?
Yeah.
Come here, I need you. I go, Andrew, there's like 10 people online.
Yeah.
We can't wait now.
So what would you do? Would you grab somebody else? Hey, you gotta take care of this line.
I go, how many people? Just come on in, I'll get you money in a minute.
Yeah.
Go to the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, pick up the phone, yell at Wheels.
Right.
Okay, what am I yelling at? Just do it.
Yeah. That's a good impression.
That's
You're
how
low key, really good at impressions.
That's how he would like, dude. Him, and then there'd be a bartender. This is the best impression I do. This bartender Huck that worked there. You don't know him, and you would know this is good. But he'd be like, "Hey, Dice, listen to me." He had no front teeth. You listen. This is not a fucking movie set. You can't be filming. I got the workspace.
This is great.
I got the workspace
You're a good
here.
actor.
People eating, people drinking. You got to go bossing people around and make a drink, man.
Yeah.
He would just set it up like it was a movie set. It was his, like the first person before YouTube, before any of that shit. There was no landing spot for any of this nonsense. And he just had a videotape and he would be like, all right. And then he would just go, pause. Now you say that.
Yeah.
Now you say that, like,
and if he didn't like it, he would rewind the videotape
it and go,
and
no,
"You have
do
to
it again. Look how you did it. It's not good. Come on. You're pissed.
Rules. And what was he making? Like, where were these going?
That's the thing. I go, I would try to, and you try to have these conversations. Like, usually everyone's pointing in the right, like in one direction of like a theme or a vision. What's the, like, if I know what the vision is, I can help you get there. But if I'm just fucking throwing things out there, I'm going to get him wrong once in a while. I remember going hiking on Runyon Canyon with him. I had a boom mic and a camera, and I had to go down backwards filming him, dude. Filming him.
And that's fucking
You're slipping.
Crazy. You could have killed yourself.
Oh, absolutely. Am I on the shot?
And this whole time, are you going like, this is pretty cool, I'm like working with dice and whatever, or are you just like, God, I can't wait to be done. I don't have to do this
varied
anymore.
from 50-50 to 60-40, 70-30.
Yeah,
either way, depending on the day or what we were doing.
I hate this.
I'm like, I don't want to rob. We go to like the Harley Davidson store. He'd get like $600 worth of stuff.
Yeah.
And then just go up to the front and be like, no, it's the pro deal.
What does that mean?
It's free. Then the register guy's like, I don't know. He goes, it's me.
It's the dice.
Tell the guy
man.
it's the pro deal. And he would just take it and walk out, and people would
I'm
like, what the fuck?
Now, I think that's the difference between the store and the cellar, is that the store has a lot of crazies.
Yeah.
The cellar, it's not really that, there's not a lot of crazies.
No, I think it's just, I think you guys have more quality. It's probably a meaner place.
A little bit, yeah.
But it's more honed towards like developing good comedy. And I think the store has become more of that now.
Yeah.
But in the 90s, I mean, 2000s, early 2000s, it was like there was nobody there. Then we had no customers really ever.
Right.
Unless it was like a Saturday night and Rogan was coming, like nobody came.
Right.
So like we had this place to ourselves, and no one, the boss wasn't there. We were the boss.
That's crazy.
Which was
Dude,
crazy.
It was like the crazies running the asylum.
Exactly. And so that's why we did whatever we wanted.
So what was the timeline between you working the door, helping Dice and doing that, and then to the league? Like, what did that look like?
Yeah, I mean, along the way, I would get like commercials.
You're in commercials?
Yeah, I did a ton of commercials. Like
you did, really?
Yeah, like when I moved
what
out,
commercials?
Tons.
Snickers?
Dude, but Ari and I did.
Ari and you are in a commercial together?
Ari and I, we would go. Do you ever hear the Ari and I Gellin commercial story? I'll tell you this.
What commercial?
So when I first get to LA, I meat Ari, and he's like, I go, how the fuck are you making money? Like this guy, he slept till like, he would set his alarm for like 2 p.m.
Jesus.
I'm like, how? I got 2 jobs. How are you making?
Right.
He goes, I do a ton of commercials. I'm
How
like, you're
old
the
are you guys
ugliest
in
fucking.
this, like 20s?
Yeah. So he's probably 27 and I'm probably 23.
Okay.
So I go, how are you fucking making money? And he's like, I do a ton of commercials. And I'm like, you're the ugliest person I know. But he's like, that's what's in now for commercials. It was like the weird time where ugly's in.
Yeah.
So like Ari would have like 5 or 6 commercials running at once. So many that he couldn't go out on them because he'd have conflicts. Like if you went out if you booked a Wendy's, you couldn't do any other fast food. Really? So you'd be like out on, so you'd be like, oh, I'm going on a Burger King. Can't go on a Wendy's. You know, whatever. So
how much did they pay for a commercial, you would think?
Tons back then. So you would get like maybe $1,000, $1,200 a shoot per day.
Yeah.
And then if the commercial ran during national spots, like you talk about primetime television,
yeah,
it was big time money. Like you can make probably a good commercial that ran for like a month and a half, 2 months, probably about 15, 20 grand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
In residuals. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yes.
That's fucking crazy.
So if you did 3 or 4 of those a year, you're set.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
So, and he did like 5 or 6. So I was like, all right, I got to get on this commercial thing. So one day I called ESPN Radio and I won tickets to a daytime Dodger game. So I call Ari up. I go, hey, you want to go to this Dodger game? He goes, yeah, but I got to go to a commercial audition first. I go, let me go. I'll crash with you. That was like the other thing, crashing. Like if you were in
crash a commercial,
if I didn't get if I didn't get a call for it, right? Like I didn't get called in, I would just go and sign in and try out, like what, an audition, you know, like.
That's a pretty good idea.
Sometimes they'd be like, hey, you're not in it. But like sometimes they'd be like, hey, well,
that's
we'll
kind
see
of embarrassing if they're like, we didn't call you.
Yeah, I know.
You're like,
but I was like, I'm close enough. I could tell. I'm like, I'll be the best looking person out of all the people that are in this fucking room.
Right. Just take my name instead of Ari's name.
So I get to this thing and he signs in, I sign in. And we're reading the sides and they're the dumbest things ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, It's for the Gellin. Are you gelling? You remember those commercials for the gel insoles?
Yeah.
Are you gelling?
The insoles.
Yes.
Dr.
Yep.
Scholes.
Dr. Scholes. So they call in 3 at a time. They call in me, Ari, and another guy. They come in, right?
The other guy's a comic?
Other guy's a comic, a fucking nobody, whatever, whoever the fuck he is. He goes, we 3 of us go in, right? He turns to Ari and the other guy. He goes, all right, you guys are at a barbecue. You're having a beer and you're talking about it, how you're gelling, how the insoles are great. And you come over and
I remember this commercial.
You
actually.
go, I'm gelling. And
I'm gelling like
obviously
Magellan.
not. Yeah, right? Action. They're talking, right? I come over. I go. I interrupt them. I go, hey, guys, I'm gelling too. Ari turns, looks at me, and fucking slaps me across the face. As hard as a human could do it. No stagecraft, no stage slap. Just boom, and I buckle to the ground. On the ground.
Now, was that an actual thing, or you were like, I'm going with this, and I'm going to the
I had
ground?
no idea he was going to do that. No idea. He just slaps me across the face hard again. The casting director goes, cut. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? He's like, do you know him? He's like, yeah, I know him. He's like, all right, let's do it again. I like the energy, but this time without the slap. He's like, I like where you were going. And so I was like, holy shit. I got a call back. Ari did not get a call back.
That's hilarious.
And then I go, we both thought, like, this is never going to go to air. And this is, like, you shoot like 10 commercials, maybe 3 of them will actually start to air.
Sure.
We go, this is never going to air. Years later, we're still seeing these fucking gel commercials. I go, we could have nailed this thing if you didn't fuck around in this goddamn audition.
So Ari's not in that?
He's not in it. No,
are you in it?
I got a call back, I think, just out of pure pity that they felt terrible.
Like, the guy got
that I
slapped
really
in the
didn't even
fucking
get
face.
a shot at doing anything besides crumpling to the ground.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Dude.
But we
Oh
did
my God.
we did a commercial together with Tiger Woods, me and him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they flew us down to Florida. We were playing video, like it was the one where we played Tiger Woods video game. It's you just see the video game, but it's our voices playing the guys.
Okay.
And so you could probably pull it up if you see it, but
Sure,
it's EA.
Are you
Sports.
looking it up right now?
Yeah, it's EA Sports, and Tiger, he goes, you got to aim for the trees over there. I go, I'm not aiming for the fucking trees, dude. He goes, aim for the trees. I aim for the trees. Yeah, there it is.
Say. How old are you guys?
20, 30?
Middle of those trees right there. Hit a low draw. Honestly, start aiming right in the middle of the trees and hit a low draw.
Right in the middle of the trees with a low
That's
drop.
what you need to do here.
He's telling you what to do. Oh, that's right in the middle of the trees or the sand.
Was that off the tree?
Off the tree, watch.
Was that real?
Yep.
You did that?
There.
Ari did that.
Ari did that?
Yep.
I'm just trying
In real life?
In real life.
In the game?
And then Tiger goes, I know what I'm talking about.
EA Sports.
I'm just trying to help you out. That's what he said.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that's
dude, that was the commercial.
awesome.
So we played video games for 8 hours in a hotel room. That's
With
essentially-
Tiger Woods?
With Tiger Woods, and then we went out and ran
wearing like
hits
little
and balls.
microphones and stuff or
No,
something?
just sitting there. We were all like loved up. Like it was
wow, holy shit.
the way a podcast would be. Exactly this, just playing video games,
Oh my
talking
god.
shit, and then that's what they cut 2 or 3
That's
spots
so
out of that.
fun.
Yeah, that was the
I
best.
can't
one.
believe that's real, too.
Yeah, we got to go to Florida, and this was like 2006. Tiger
And you
Woods.
definitely don't get How much did you make from that commercial?
tons.
Wow, holy shit. Do you get any royalties from any of these yet? Or
No,
like,
I don't think
are they
so.
all off the air? and
I
it's
think
like,
they're all off
whatever?
the air now. I don't think I mean, I'm sure there's some.
Your voice is barely even in that.
I know, but there's like 2 or 3 of them. It's crazy.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, they just
that's
cut 'em together. It was
fucking crazy.
awesome.
I'm trying. My brain is telling me that I remember those commercials, but I don't
it was
know
probably,
if
what
that's
is it,
true.
2004, 5, 6?
The game was 07, so it
07,
had
yeah,
to
yeah.
be right around then.
07, yeah. So we probably shot it in 6.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Pretty crazy, dude. It was
wow,
so
the
much
most
fun.
athletic that Ari Shaffir has ever been, by the way, too.
We used to play basketball. He would smoke butts
And just fucking
while
shit.
playing basketball, running
Wow,
up and
he
down
must
the
have been a
court.
nut when you guys were younger.
French style. Yeah, he was
Because he's a little crazy now, but
still very much crazy. Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
he was much crazier then. Like when I first met him, he would
Yeah.
come into my apartment, and then like I would go to like get him. He'd be like, "Oh, picking something up," and I would turn around, like, "Where is he?" And I would go in, and he'd be like in bed with my wife, like under the covers, and then
such a
she'd
funny
be like, "Ari,
bit.
get out of here!"
That's such
Yeah.
a funny
I'm
bit.
like, "Get out!" He's like, "What?" I thought I could sleep over.
You got good teeth. You got white teeth.
No, I got to get him fixed.
What?
The bottom ones are disgusting. When you do Legion of Skanks, dude,
Yeah.
they are so horrible in the comments.
Yeah, you can't read
And
those
here's the
things.
problem: I never read the comments.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the new
You'll be
thing
nice
is
to you
the
on these. We have a nice
collaboration.
group. Yeah.
You collab. Now I accept your collab. Now I am getting every comment, whether I want them or not, dude.
Yeah.
So now it's like Steve's bottom teeth all face each other. Steve's got rosacea. Steve's going to die soon. So I'm like, I really take that. I used to not think about that stuff, and now that's all I think about.
I know. Tell me about it.
It's really bad.
Yeah, I mean, I ignore the comments and everything. It's so fucking hard, though.
It really is.
Because you'll like check and see like, oh, how's that post doing? And then you're just like, fat piece of shit, ugly. You're like, okay,
Big
all
head,
right. It's
gonna
like
die
it's
soon.
literally like opening a door and then it's like, you're like,
I know.
oh fuck.
And I never did. I was just like, oh great, they posted something. But now they want me to collab with them, and I'm like, I like it.
It's like the internet,
But
is
I don't want to know the ramifications of collabing.
Like, when you were doing TV, right? You don't get any of that. Were you getting like
No.
mail? Were there mail coming in or anything like that?
No one ever wrote us letters.
It was a great show, though. Very
It's a
popular
great show, but I don't think anyone ever took the time to write us.
How many
handwritten
seasons
letters.
was that show?
7.
Wow, dude!
Yeah, we
you
did
guys
7
were on for a
seasons.
long time.
Yeah, 2009 to 2015.
And what was the process of all that? Like, how did it like? When did that start? Like, how did you start doing that?
I
What
had
was the
done, like-
casting like? Did you know that all those guys?
I almost turned that shit. I'm so stupid.
Really?
Yeah, like I could have easily just been an idiot. I had done a couple movies and a couple TV shows. One of them went for 1 season, but another one didn't go. So I was sort of like, do I want to do? I was at the point where I'm like, oh, I can do movies. People are asking me to do some movies, and people are asking me to do some TV shows.
Yeah.
And so there was a movie that I read for that I got, and I don't even remember
What
the
was
name.
the movie called?
It was with Justin Long, Drew Barrymore, and what's his name from Always Sunny?
Charlie Day.
Charlie Day. And it was in New York City, but it was like it shot the same summer. I had auditioned the day before for The League,
Yeah.
and they offered me that. And I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, I'm going to be in I was going to spend the whole summer in New York.
Right.
And I was like, I'm going to be in New York. This works out perfect. I can shoot the movie, spend time with my family, the
Great.
whole thing. Great.
Yeah.
And then my agent kept calling me. He's like, I understand it's cool. It's way more money, blah, blah, blah. But just listen to the other people doing this TV show. He's like Nick Kroll and Mark Duplass and
John LaJoie.
LaJoie and all these. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, these are all the people. Yeah, he's like French Canadian.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all these people I audition against all the time. So I'm like, they're all killers.
Yeah.
And they go, just go talk to the creators. So I flew out to LA and talked to the creators, and they were like, do this.
Yeah.
This will be fun for you. I
Yeah.
know the movie. If you don't take that movie, it's not going to win an Academy Award.
Yeah.
Just you'll get another one like it. But
Right.
this is like something you should do.
This is gonna
And
be
I
fun.
literally listened to them, and I took that.
Yeah.
And that was it. And originally I read for the part of Pete, but then because they wanted Mark
Was
and
Pete
Katie.
the who played that character?
Mark Duplass paid that.
Oh, nice.
But him and Katie are married in real life, so they wanted them kind of to do that on screen too, and they didn't
Right.
really want to do that. So then I was like, I'll do that part. And
Right,
So
right.
it just worked out.
And all these guys have gone on. I mean, the Duplass
Huge.
brothers, like they've have all those movies and shit.
Movies, and now they're doing like tons of like underground television where they're just creating stuff
Right.
themselves.
You ever
which is
stay
the
in touch
perfect
with
way.
any of these guys?
Yeah, we still talk a lot. You know, I go see Kroll on Broadway whenever he's all over the place.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Big mouth and all
then we
that
try to get
stuff.
dinners, but now everyone lives in
Everybody's so busy. And
Yeah.
and you're getting older. It's like we all got families.
John
and all that
spends time
stuff.
in Canada.
Do you have any Emmys? Did you win
No.
any Emmys for that show?
No
That
Emmys.
show didn't win any Emmys.
No, but I do remember when I signed my contract that they were like, you get a bonus for an Emmy. And I was
What?
like, I couldn't even.
Is that that's a real
that
thing?
was a
That's why
real
people
thing.
want Emmys?
It was, well, I mean, it was like they were paying us so little in the beginning.
Wow.
They were like, if you get an Emmy, like we'll give you a bonus, which was like, would have basically doubled my whole season 1 salary.
Holy shit.
Because I think they, like at that point, they didn't expect it, but now they do. Like if you get a show like The Bear,
Yeah.
it just comes out and just fucking catches fire.
Right.
You know?
And then all of them are getting it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Emmys
You don't
every
want to look
fucking
like I'm
day.
getting $1,200 a week for
Right.
doing something that, I'm winning an Emmy
Yeah,
for.
yeah. You're like,
So-
we're in The Bear. I think we could be getting $1 million an episode, please.
Yeah, they don't, but they could. I mean, they probably make way more money than we did in the beginning. But
Yeah.
stuff like that I never thought like.
It's
we
crazy
never,
that some shows didn't get Emmys that totally deserved it. Like, I don't even think Always Sunny has won an Emmy.
no, they've never even been nominated.
That's
never been
cra-
nominated for
and
Best
in
Comedy.
7 years.
7 years.
Well, I was talking
Always-
about the
oh,
League.
Bar
I was talking
Show,
about-
yeah, but Always Sunny's been on for
it's the
17
longest
years.
running. It's the longest running live action sitcom.
I
that's ever
remember
happened.
watching Always Sunny and going, because they would do our premiere and their premiere together because we were paired up together.
Mhm.
And season 1, I remember being like, our show and their show got basically the same amount of laughs, right? This is the first episode they would do that. They'd have a premiere party.
Yeah.
Season 2, we probably got a little bit more laughs than our premiere episode than their premiere episode. Season 5 or 6, it wasn't even comparable. They had to show ours first and show because they were still destroying it.
Right.
And that was their like 11th season.
Damn, that sucks. Because for me, did you ever feel like you were in like a friendly competition with those guys?
Never. No, we looked at them like
they're like those guys. They're
it's
gonna
like
explode.
you're the captain of the team, and we just are happy to be here.
Yeah,
because they looked at us like almost like we're psyched. We think your show is funny, but they've tried a couple other shows before. So there were a couple other shows that didn't work out.
Right.
I'm trying to remember what they were, but I can't remember offhand. But like they had a couple like one hit wonder, one season things that just never gelled.
Yeah.
And they were hoping, they were like, we just want something to prop up against so we don't have to do all the heavy lifting.
There's rarely any shows that are focused around sports and comedy at the same time.
No, I mean, I think, not Entourage. What's that other one that they did? The one with The Rock.
With The Rock. What's his name? Billy? No, that's not Billions. That's what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Show.
Oh,
Nicole is looking it up as quick as she
it's
can.
like a one-word name.
Ballers?
Ballers. Yeah.
HBO's done Arliss, Ballers. Remember Arliss?
No.
You don't remember Arliss?
No, none of this sounds even real. Arliss
was a sports agent show in the late 90s on HBO.
No
And
way.
the comedian, what's his name, was the lead. Oh, sorry. I don't know if you're looking it up or you could be looking at porn.
Yeah. I make her look
Usually.
at porn.
What's his name that played Arliss? He's a comedian, old comedian.
Looking.
How do you even spell Arliss?
Arliss.
Robert Wool.
Robert Wool.
Oh, I don't even know who that is.
Oh, dude.
Maybe I would recognize his face.
You would recognize his face. He's been in a million things.
Damn, dude. Yeah, so you guys were on the same time as like Always Sunny. Did you ever meet those guys?
All the time, yeah.
You just were at like all the
They would do like
all that
we would
FX
do
stuff.
Yeah, we would do like an upfronts here in New York where we would do bowling parties and stuff, and then we always went to Comic-Con together. We do
Were you
panels
doing
on that.
stand up at that time too?
Yeah.
Like yeah, that's like
That
the
was-
dream, right? You're
it
like,
was
I
awesome.
can get up whenever I want. I'm the fucking man right now.
It was a good time because there were people starting to show up at the Comedy Store for a couple different reasons. It was getting a little more popular.
yeah,
But yeah, it was a little tough because I would work all day and then I would just go straight there.
right.
'Cause if I went home first, I would never go back
Of
out.
course, I would take a nap and then never wake
Yeah,
up.
especially on days when I had to like work the next day early. I'm like, I just better go do this now. So,
yeah,
but what I did do is write more stuff because the show that we did was all improvised.
right.
So when I got on stage at night, I used to do a ton of crowd work, almost exclusively, and that's how I had fun.
Yeah, just to like flex that muscle.
Then I was like, when I was doing the show, I did almost no crowd work
Yeah,
because
of
I was
course,
like, I am so done improvising and like,
Right.
I almost
right.
want to just like say these dumb things I think about during the day on
Yeah,
my
of
own in a
course, yeah.
slow pace
Yeah.
and flush them out that way than have to be quick and always with someone.
Yeah.
You know, it was a
I
little
can't
bit of
believe
that.
so that show was all improv?
Yeah, I mean, we worked on an outline, so it was like
Right.
we had each scene had like a point A and a point. Here's the end
So
point.
so okay, we would go. Okay, you're doing a podcast with Brendan, and
Yeah,
then
Brendan and Steve are doing a podcast.
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, I forgot. Nicole's obviously looking at porn when she's supposed to be.
Okay,
You know, and so we're asking like you can ask her questions, but like let's just see how that goes. And
Okay.
we would start
That's
doing this,
so
and you'd be like,
fun.
hey, yeah, be like, all right, just can you look that up? Be like, what the fuck?
and
is
then
it?
it's
you'd hear like,
and
like,
you go,
all right,
what the
yeah,
heck
yeah.
is she? And I go,
Exact-
crit, and then do the old Michael Scott. I got a gun.
And then sometimes, like, I look at porn at work. You know, like,
Yeah.
you could go off on tangents.
yes,
Once you have that sort of beaten path,
yeah,
you know, like you'll be walking. And I go, all right, for camera's sake, we know what we're going to say, kind of in a way.
yeah.
But like on the way walking this way, I saw something funny that could be done. So the next take,
right,
boom, I'm going to go over
Wow.
there, and I don't have to tell you I'm going to go over there, but I can go over there,
right,
and I'll go follow you, or we can go over here, or
yeah.
you know.
Did you have a favorite out of all those guys that you liked? You were like, oh fuck,
I mean,
yeah, I get to do with Nick. It's gonna be
I
so
was by
fun.
far the weakest.
Really?
Well, yeah, I would say so. Yes, I mean Paul and Nick
Those guys
are-
come from that. You're a stand-up. They
are
come
next
from
level
improv and
improvisers
sketch,
and that
right?
and sketch in that way of like heightening situations. And
Yeah.
again, like taking something like what we just said, like a scene like that, and then finding a tangent where I jerk off at work. It's like, oh, really? What do you jerk off? And we wrote whole episodes about stuff that Paul improvised off on the side, dude.
That's incredible.
Like one time he improvised about being in an a cappella band in like school that we didn't know about.
Yeah,
and then we did a whole fucking episode about how his friends came back. Like it was so like there were stuff that was just mine from just simple takes we could pull from.
You ever think about doing anything like that again? Like, I think I want to make a show where we're doing that again.
I honestly, sometimes I wake up and people, they ask like, oh, you should do more seasons of the league. And I don't think we ever would. But sometimes I wake up fearful that we decide to do more. And like
fearful.
Because I'm like, I don't know if I could keep up with these guys like that anymore. Like I haven't done that in a long time in that sense of like,
I think you could.
It would be a while before I would be able to.
I bet it's just one of those things where you need like one or two times where you're like, okay. And then,
once you kind of get with the band again and you kind of get everyone's rhythm, it makes it easier. But like, just the riffing that Jason Mantzoukas, who played Rafi on our
forgot
show,
that he was in it too.
We would have guest stars that we would have to eliminate from scenes because because they're not used to someone could say something different on every single take.
Right.
So like he'll say something horrifically funny on a take. Everyone is laughing beyond like we finally pull it back together, right?
Yeah.
And we know as people that are on the show all the time that the next take is absolutely not going to be the same thing. But the guest star does not know that. So then he says something completely different and they go off the rails again.
Yeah.
To the point where we can't, like, just for time's sake, we just like, there's no reason for you to be here. We're on a single of Jason. Just go in the trailer. Because the things he's going to say are going to make.
Right. And like, these guest stars were like.
And this is not even guest stars. One time in the outtakes, you'll see, they're doing a scene, Kroll and Mantzoukas, and he's like, he basically, in one way or another, Kroll breaks the news to Mantzoukas, or his character, that Michael Jackson's dead.
Okay.
And this is completely unbelievable new news to him, and he's crushed by this news, right?
Yeah.
And him doing it over and over, and his unbelievable, like, oblivious to the fact that he's dead is making Nick laugh so hard that it's now like we can't get through the scene.
Yeah.
So then finally, Mantzoukas goes, "What does Whitney Houston think about this?" Right? And Nick goes, he leaves.
That's awesome.
He leaves, and we had to do the rest of the scene through a walkie-talkie. So Nick would he'd be in Video Village, and he would do his lines through a walkie-talkie that was sitting there, and then Jason would do his lines.
What?
So that you couldn't see him break
he
up.
Just kept.
He couldn't, dude. It would be too much.
That's so funny, dude. That rules.
Rafi, what are you listening to? The 9/11 cockpit recordings. You're like, what the fuck?
Dude, where did he come from? Was he a stand-up or was
he's
he
another one?
He's an improv guy?
He's Jason. He's from like that UCB.
Wow.
Yeah, super smart. Like completely opposite of who he is on.
Right. Did you guys do a movie?
No,
too?
never a movie.
Was there talks to do that?
I don't think so. Not
Never
that I was,
once. Not a league movie.
Probably Jerry O'Connell's going to play me in the movie.
Yeah, they replace all you guys.
Replace me,
dude.
Jerry O'Connell.
Hilarious. Well, I think you should. Definitely write something. That'd be cool.
It would be fun, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we tried to do something during COVID.
Oh, like a
COVID, like a Zoom.
Oh,
episode.
I remember when they were all like people were doing.
And then we started doing it, and then we were like, oh,
"This sucks.
This sucks. It's not the same."
No.
And really, like, we can't get away with what we want to get away with.
Yeah,
it may not read as the way it normally does when the show.
Different now, right?
Yeah, and the tone was different. It was right during Me Too as well.
Right. But
BLM
now I think
was blowing up. Everyone was afraid of like any sort of jokes.
Right. Now I think it's different though. Now I think that whole thing is like, oh no, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, but like I would have obviously been like, Andre, were you at a BLM rally? And like that, like I know like we could go on about that, but that might be a thing where it's like, let's not even do that.
Yeah,
or let's not go there, or let's not do it.
What do we
And then you start, you're like, fuck it.
Yeah,
it's not the same anymore. That's what I think. But, who knows? You never know.
Damn. Are you itching to make something for TV or movies?
I like work. I like going to set. I do like that. I enjoy that. A lot of comics don't, but I enjoy going. Like, I don't feel like I'm wasting my time if I'm really like involved in the process and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, a funny show or a really good show would be interesting to do.
Yeah.
But also, I like the schedule of what I had on the league.
Yeah.
I did a lot of stuff in a short period of time. I don't want to do a show for like
Right.
8 months.
Oh, it stinks. And the
10 months.
right now the road is cool too.
It's great.
You like going on the road?
I do. I really do. I mean, I got a good. Been doing it for a while now, so I got a good map of like when I go places and times of year and places I go.
You're getting the data from like
yes.
Oh, this market's good for me. That
yes, this time of year is great for that place, and this so I can really kind of map out my year. It's not as
well. Do you want to plug any road dates or anything? Or
I'm going SteveRannazzisi.com for sure. I'm going back on the road this like early September. For the whole fall and winter, so but the summer I kind of lay low. But I don't know when it's coming out. I'm doing the dojo
in a few weeks.
Oh, a few weeks. The dojo's Saturday.
Oh well,
I killed at the dojo.
He murdered.
Blew the fucking.
He literally,
roof off
and then
that
the place blew up and was set on fire.
I like that room though, and
It's a good
especially
room.
to fuck around. Like I do that room in a couple places.
They're comedy
governors
fans
in the
there.
summer to work out shit.
Yeah.
And then get back on the road But
yeah,
all the dates will be on the.
Kind of can suck my cock, but
they're
okay. They're
not
they
great.
just depress me.
They really are.
They depress me.
It's my people too that depress me the most.
I know because you're like
You guys are me, but you suck.
The whole Long Island audience, like, there's that vibe of you better make me laugh.
Yeah, I'm paying good. No, you're not, dude.
Yeah,
you're sitting at a table sideways, 150 feet away from me.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Eating
Sideways,
a veal
so
parmesan.
True. Yeah, yeah. You're eating a heavy meal, half looking at me.
Yeah, this is not my fault.
All right. Well, check out Steve.
Yes, thank you.
Check me out as well, Brendan Sagalow. This was a great episode.
Dude, thank you.
This was awesome. This went by. This went by so quickly. And patreon.com/sagdaddytopod. You know what it is, and everything. And follow us. And Nicole
Lyons Productions on Instagram.
Follow. And we'll see you next time on a very special episode of Sagdaddy the Pod.
The rap Jack Black and Sagdaddy, I'm back at it with a fantastic podcast for your asses. Yapping in a trap like a rescue cat, and the rescued up like they're waiting on the Batman. You tuned into the dude who threw booze back, blacked out, woke up drunk, covered in bruises. It's Sagdaddy the Pod, an odd fellow, the great white chubby, I'm becoming a marshmallow. It's Sagdaddy the Pod, so sit back and relax, cause like a broken arm, I got a cast now. It's Sagdaddy the Pod, you made a good choice, so enjoy, don't be annoyed, now here's my dumb voice. So recognizable, ski master, unreliable, diary of a guy who's higher than a freaking diving board. I'm tired, call me biting you as like cause you align with your wardrobe. Give that back, you ain't that guy, bro. Kaleidoscope stripping, goddamn I'm tripping. Sipping shroom tea, looking at a blank television. Got a girl here gripping, thinking we'll do some business, but that's the last thing that I want. Seriously. Big dog, I'm on shirts now. Still scared that my house is gonna burn down. I'm a rare card, an old Charizard. Getting BJ's on a bench of a promenade. Don't know what to do, I got a lot of problems. Lot of emotional truths, I menage them. I'm getting robbed every time I get a coffee. Cause $6 is just too much.
Keep it on the low. We can keep it on the low. We can keep it on the low. But all you do is wrong.
Dream team, me and Gellin and the 4 Beatles. Kidnapping whores illegally, pumping them full with needles. Eating Chinese till Steven asked us to order a pizza. Walk to run to get it, I can't do either. It's Sagdaddy the Pod, don't think twice, just bob your head, dealing your chicken with no rice. It's Sagdaddy the Pod, and on God I won't stop unless I wanna, that's kinda the deal, huh? It's Sagdaddy the Pod, no need to deviate. Your ears are not the only holes that I'm about to penetrate. It's Sagdaddy the Pod, so thanks for tuning in. Truman Show flow, if I don't see you, you can suck my dick.